Hello everyone and welcome back to another video on the channel. Today we're going to be talking about a brand new movie that's releasing on HBO Max and in theaters, and I got a chance to actually watch this in theaters a bit early. This is In the Heights, directed by Jon M, and this movie is, I think it's based on a Broadway play as well, but it is a musical about, I guess, a bunch of different things happening, a bunch of different people's dreams, about, their future and their future ambitions and all these different things of these people that live in Washington Heights in New York City. And this movie is just an explosion of color and joy and ambition, and it's beautifully shot and edited and directed and acted and sung. The music is so incredibly well done, and this movie was just a pure simple joy to watch for the entire 2 hour and 20-minute runtime. I think it does feel a little bit long in the tooth at one point because this movie is a majority, like I would say 90% music, maybe 10 or 15% is normal dialogue scenes, but for the most part this is a complete awesome musical from the, I know it is Lin-Manuel Miranda, but I don't know if it's the exact writers of Hamilton or the exact creators of Hamilton or maybe just like producers of Hamilton, but it definitely has that tone and vibe to it. And this movie actually did kind of remind me of Do the Right Thing from Spike Lee, because again, that movie was like a bunch of random characters in Brooklyn, in New York, and it's like the hottest day of the summer and tensions are rising throughout the day, and that's the same thing that you can put towards this movie. Although Do the Right Thing had a lot more, social justice, so much more impact in terms of like political statements and all these different things that movie was trying to say. This movie definitely has those things, but this is a much lighter and happier toned movie than Do the Right Thing was. So I think that's an interesting, like, two opposites of the same coin, I would say, with Do the Right Thing and In the Heights, which I wasn't expecting it to have that sort of impact on me, because this movie with these different characters, it really did hit me in a way that I wasn't expecting it to, because I really was drawn to the ambitions and the dreams of these characters. That's what this movie is about. That's what the theme of this film is, these characters who dream of something greater or something bigger than themselves and them striving towards that thing. In a similar way that La La Land was about, dreamers and La La Land and that, fantasy of that world. In this movie, you have Anthony Ramos as USNAVI, who wants to go back to the Dominican Republic and rebuild the bar that his father owned there, and because it was destroyed by a hurricane, and he wants to go back and basically carry on the legacy of his father, and he gets this opportunity to do so, and it's the trepidation of actually going on that journey and pursuing that exact dream that is his struggle. Then you have Leslie Grace as Nina, and her story was actually the most relevant to mine because she was the only one to be able to get out of this, out of the Heights. She got out, she went to college in a great school on the West Coast, and all these different things. She had achieved her dream, but then over this summer she comes back home, and the different things that you find out what happened to her on, the other side of the United States, and all these different things that happen, and her dreams kind of being crushed a bit in a way. And so her story and her ambitions of going out and doing greater things and having done so, and whether or not it was a success in her eyes and whether or not it was worth it in her eyes, is a very heartfelt story with her as well. And Melissa Barrera as Vanessa was a character who had ambitions to pursue her art and pursue her creativity, and trying to find inspiration in the world to breed that creativity and be able to break out into the world with her art and all these different things. And that's another story that I really connected to in terms of me being a film student in general. And so this movie, if you have really any dreams or ambitions, this movie will be relatable to you in some way. And the songs and the energy that this movie had just really did liven me up. And just to talk about the technical aspects of this movie, outside of the performances and all those things that I've already mentioned, this movie is incredibly and immaculately edited. Every frame of this movie is, passed on to the next one so seamlessly, and it's so beautifully shot and directed by Jon M, and I really have to praise him because, I did really like Crazy Rich Asians. I have the poster for that as well, but I do have this one, so I had to put this one up. But I really do like him as a director, and him directing this movie with such an energy and so many creative shots. Like, you can make a musical, or I guess, there's so many music videos out there, right? And some of them have a great creative energy behind them, and some of them just don't. And so this movie, to maintain that sense of, flair that this movie has throughout the entire runtime, with it being that long, is very impressive. And the music, my gosh, was I not completely wrapped up in the music in this film, especially the opening scene, which is on YouTube. You can find that one right now and you can watch it. That song is one that I've seen twice of all of them because I watched it on YouTube first and watched it in the movie. So that one has really stuck with me. It's been stuck in my head all day. And I'm sure if I watch this movie again, each individual song following that point will, you know, have some sort of impact on me later on. Of course, I'm going to download the soundtrack at some point whenever it becomes available. The music is just phenomenal in this movie. And Olga Merediz as Abuela was the heart and soul of this movie. She was phenomenal, bouncing off between all those characters that I have mentioned, and just her presence in the movie was felt throughout the entire thing, and I loved her storyline as well in this movie. And I think this movie, you know, being a grand musical with all these different characters, yes, you might not get as grand character arcs for some of them as you do for others because it is such a large cast, but each and every single one of them gets their moments to shine because of that direction, because of the pace of this movie and the energy behind the camera and in front of the camera. And so this is a movie that I would just highly recommend. I think it might be slightly, just ever so slightly too long, but I loved the ending. I loved where they went with the characters. I loved how this movie was such an encapsulation of people's dreams and about, like, you know, even being impactful in terms of the Latin culture in America, and, you know, having a character be a dreamer, somebody who, you know, has no citizenship in the United States, and they're in here and they have those fears of being kicked out, or have these fears of them not being able to pursue their dreams, like going to college and all these different things. And so this movie does have an impactful moment. I did get chills throughout this movie, and just the whole thing was just wonderful to watch. So thanks guys for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, definitely leave a like and comment down below what you thought of In the Heights. What were some of your favorite songs in this movie? I'd love to hear your thoughts on that as well. So thanks guys for watching this video. Subscribe to the channel. I just have my review out for Loki, and I will have weekly reviews out for that. And of course, I will have movie reviews hopefully every single week, depending on what movies come out. I think next week is The Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard, and I might watch it. I also might not watch it because I didn't really like the first one, but we will see. So thanks guys for watching this video, and I hope to see you all in my next one.